our minds ignite. Welcome to the fierce debates. We explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena, there's no chance to escape the fight by lore. Dive in deep and search for more.
Welcome to the spot. It's time to ignite. Oh yeah. Operation Hangout. The feeling's just right. Chilling with the crew. We're ready to groove. Opinions flying high. Come on, let's move. Woo. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Pull up a chair, let's get in the zone. Voices blend and smooth, like a funky trombone. Oh yeah. Topics from the heart, making us think. With a twist and a shout, raise up your drink. Cheers! Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Bring it down, shake it up, feel the beat. With every word we share, the circle's complete. Woo! Living loud, thinking proud, that's what we do. Oh yeah. Join the club, come on through, we're waiting for you. Alright. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Hang out.
What is going on, everybody? We're back on another stream, another live. You know where you're at. You're at Spartan HQ Network. I'm your host, the Spartan, aka Peter. So tonight we are talking about the most iconic WWE finishers ever. I came with this idea because me and my partner Anton were thinking about topics. We are going to be doing very soon, just a little behind the scenes. We're going to be talking about very soon Hogan documentary. That is on the list. But we, obviously we do work a full-time job, so you be patient with us. We're going to be doing that soon. But we do have this one. And what's going on, Eric? How you been, my man? Because there's some iconic finishers. The top list at the moment right now, and this is a debate, obviously. You can put your opinions in the chat. I'll be happy to hear that. Number one place is Stone Cold Steve Austin's Stunner. Second place, Undertaker's Tombstone Piledriver. And I do like his Tombstone one, I'll be honest with you guys. I also like his old school move. Shawn Michaels, switching music, super kick, in other words. Um, Randy Orton RKO. I think the RKO is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm like, if he has nailed it in some weird and places like you're like, what the how the fuck did you pull that shit out of your ass? John Cena's attitude adjustment. I can go either way with that. Bret Hart's sharpshooter. I will go either way. This is one of my favorites actually. Is Triple H's Pedigree. Um, just love how he always finishes it. I just something about that move always excited me. The rock bottom, and people's elbow. Um, the people's elbow I did always enjoy very very much. The rock bottom always got me very excited. Because I know that was like you nailed it. Boom, you're ready to move on, my man. Um, Kurt Angle, the angle lock, but he also has the angle slam. Both of them pretty good. Roman Reigns spear, but Roman Reigns was the only person to actually use the spear as a finisher. Edge was another one too. And Goldberg. I always enjoy Goldberg's spear. I think he had the most incredible spear ever. Also, I really did enjoy his jackhammer. His jackhammer when he was doing it, man, it would just get me hyped. That's on ChatGPT. Now, if we go to Google, let's see what they say about their finisher moves. It's curious. I have to actually do my little search here because I didn't think about doing it. And do was his finishing guys that use their reverse Tombstone Piledriver, and that was a good one too. I'm not disagreeing with that. All right, now this is Google's version of it. Okay, again, Stone Cold Steve Austin is the first place. RK is second. Sweet Chin Music is third. Almost Jackass as ChatGPT. To Undertaker's Tombstone. Now here's where it changes. The F5 from Brock Lesnar. F5, I do like the F5. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When he in his younger years, because now he's getting older. Like I'm kind of over it, to be honest with you. I'm a little bit over it. The people's elbows and another one. And those are the only ones they're giving me on here. So I feel if you don't have a good finisher, you don't have a good gimmick. There have been a couple people like man, what's his name? I'm sorry to remember his name right now. He's out with a neck injury. I can't remember his name. He also uses Stinger. Chris Adams was also the first to use the super kick. Yeah, and you know what it is also the super kick right now, bro? I'll be honest with you, Eric. A lot of people use it. I think it's overdone at this point. You have multiple people like the Usos use a super kick. And a lot of them use it, and I think it's overdone. It took the mystique out of it. And as much I want to say the super kick has still the ick factor, it doesn't for me anymore. Because there's so many people who actually use it. Here we go. Stunner. Let's see who else uses it. Give me 1 second, guys. Use the stunner. Because I know it's two people who use it. I can remember his name right now. Kevin Owens. It was the other person who used the stunner. And it's funny. And it was, if I remember correctly, the story when Kevin Owens went up to Steve Austin asked his permission to use it. And this, you don't need permission. It's just respect to ask somebody the permission to do that. He was shocked, actually. Nobody else asked him. Nobody else asked him. Like, I'm surprised nobody asked me so far. Yeah, go ahead, use it. He didn't care. And there's some moves, finishers. I'm like, I don't see the point of them. I don't see the it factor. Like the Samoa, man, he just literally jumps off the top rope. That's all it is. And like a Samai, or whatever it's called. I don't see I don't see the it factor. I'm like, come on, dude, give me something better. One, my second favorite, no, third favorite, whatever, was from Matt Hardy. No, I'm sorry, Jeff Hardy. I apologize. The Swanton Dive. When he hit that song, he could get up, does his little finger thing, and he go whoop. And that takes skill. When you put some effort in a finisher, that is a great, great finisher. Listen, I have told multiple times on this show and the Hangout show, Hogan was one of my icons growing up because, it was Hogan. And as much people want to hate him or love him or whatever, that's a whole different conversation for a different topic and a different show. But Hogan, you cannot disagree. He has literally changed the road of wrestling. If it wasn't for him, wrestling might be a different place right now. But his finisher wasn't anything special to me. It wasn't technical. It wasn't like, wow. It was a decent finisher. That's all it was. When he hit the ropes and dropped the big boot, that's all it was. Just a big boot. Nothing crazy about it. But now you add in other technical finishers like the Swanton Dive, the Jackhammer, the Stunner, the old school from Undertaker. Those are moves to me that will always be iconic. Another iconic one just came to my head was the 619 from Rey Mysterio. And only two people can pull that off. Is himself and his son. Dominic Mysterio. Some people call him Dirty Dom, but him going through the ropes and hitting that, 619, you gotta give him credit, man. You gotta give the guy credit. You gotta put a good gimmick, a good finisher, and a good storyline. If you have all three chemistries together, you have a good match in hand. Gimmick, story, finisher. Like any story you read, a beginning, the middle, and the end. If you have those three together, let's do it every single time. I think that's why Stone Cold had so many good matches. That's why also The Rock had great matches. It was great. Now, with some other moves, like switching music, it was a great move. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to deny that one bit. But was it iconic? I want to say no. I think the person behind the move was iconic. I cannot take away what Shawn Michaels has done for the business. He is one of the people that you're going to always remember. We might be sit down 30, 40 years later, and we're going to be talking about Shawn Michaels. So, and that is the thing. Like, the other person that is using the spear that has, I think he's done a pretty good job, is Braun Breaker, because when he does his, he ramps it up pretty much like almost a car. If he does it outside the ring, he literally starts from one side of the ring. If your opponent's right here, he runs all around and then he throws a spear. And Eric says switching music is the super kick, and it is. It's just a super kick, nothing crazy. It's just a super kick. So the people who have iconic spears, I'm gonna name these guys down the list a little bit. Is obviously I'm gonna start at the top and the bottom. You got Roman Reigns, currently, of course, I'm going downwards. Braun Breaker, Jey Uso. I don't like Jey Uso's spear. I think he's sloppy. I'll be honest with you. I think it's very, very, very sloppy. It's not as, I'm trying to put it the right word, crisp as Roman Reigns. Be honest. When he gets in that corner, he goes whoosh or whatever you want to call it. You need to take that deep breath, and he nails it every single time. And but Usos is a running spear, very sloppy. I think it's very sloppy. I think he needs to change his move. John Gargano also uses a spear, slingshot spear. Excuse me. He bounces off the ropes and he nails it. Goldberg, obviously, the most iconic spear, my personal opinion. And the second most iconic is also Edge's. Those two guys always did a great job with it. Batista used it for a little bit too. But then he moved to the Batista bomb for a finisher. Bobby lastly, he also used a bone crusher spear, they're calling it. And Rhino had a very good I don't know how many of you guys remember Rhino, but Rhino had a very good video. Here we go with Eric. Eric says Jey Uso is overrated and over pushed, period. I don't want to disagree with you, Eric. I agree 100%. I think they need to pull him back. They're doing the same thing they did with Roman Reigns. When he was the big dog gimmick, they were trying to shove him down our throats. Literally, come on, you want him? Come on, come on. And we pushed back as fans, like, no, we don't want this guy. But when he had stepped away for medical reasons during the pandemic, and he came back as the tribal's chief, this a bad guy, pretty much. I gotta give him credit. They did a good job with his gimmick. I think when you're trying to shove something down people's throats and you come back and take a break, hit the brakes, and pull him back a little bit and re-evaluate his gimmick, I think that's a better way. And keep trying to push it and push it and push it. Like his entry. I think he's overrated, his entry. It's nothing crazy about it. He's just in the crowd, like, wave your hands. Ooh, wee. It's nothing. People are hype about it. Yeah. But again, most of those people are getting so hype about it are not those people who are watching this on home and TV. These guys are getting hype because they're in live arena. Any live arena you go to, you're going to get hyped. I don't care. I've been to concerts that I didn't know who the singer is, and I got hyped into it. So, and we got Wally in the house. What's going on, Wally? Goldberg, Bobby, Edge, and Rhino. The rest, who cares? They do have good spears. I can't say no to that. Most people don't remember Rhino. If you bring up Rhino's name, like, who the hell is Rhino? Rhino had one of the best spears, my personal opinion. But the very best spear, I gotta give it to Goldberg. Goldberg has the number one spear. And it's always going to be like that. He's always going to be remembered for the spear and jackhammer. He had one of the, like, when he was in WCW, his gimmick was really good. Now, when he went to WWE, that questionable. And some of these gimmicks are very questionable. Some of these moves are questionable to me. Like, why would you use that? Simple as that. So Rhino and Benoit were a damn good tag team. Yeah, they were a good tag team. And people don't remember that either. They don't remember those two guys tag team together. They were probably the best of their careers at that point. So the spears, you have so many different moves. Give me a good move. Give me something in effort. Give me something you're gonna put time and energy into it. Like the big boot is not energy to me. It was just a boot. Man, I care less. As much a fan I'm Hogan, I'm a huge Hogan fan. He doesn't do anything to me. Now, the stunner, that's something I can get behind. And I know it's not much to it, but it's still a good finisher. That's what I like about it. Now, let's use Randy Orton's, the RKO. That is a high impact, jumping, face to the mat kind of move. Even the punk kick he uses, that is effort. Very much effort. I'll give it Shawn Michaels. He gets to the ropes, he starts banging his foot, and it's coming. You know it's coming. And it's not much to it, but it's still effort into it. Let's see. Tombstone, it has technicality because he needs to position the body correctly to put it into it. If he slips this much, bye-bye skull, bye-bye skeleton, bye-bye, neck. You could get hurt really fast with that move. All right, let's get this guy in here. All right, guys, you know who he is, but I'm still going to his introduction. He's from Planet Vegeta. As always, let's welcome in. Let's get Anton in here. Anton, what's up, my man?
What's going on, Peter? Sorry about that. I would have gotten on sooner, but it seemed like my wife had to get ready for work. She was procrastinating a little. Had to help her get ready. My daughter is texting me, needed to talk to me about something. I said, we're gonna have to do that later after we're done here. I'm trying to put my young one to bed at the same time. So it's like, if it's not one thing,
it never ends, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I would have already been here by now, but my wife,
no, you good, man.
Kind of procrastinated.
All right, so my top finishers, I don't know if you heard what I said, is Goldberg's spear and jackhammer. All right.
Okay.
Those are number one for me.
All right.
RKO is another one I like. I like
Right.
Edge's spear. And Jeff Hardy's swan dive. Those are my top fives. Personally.
Okay.
So what's your top five finishers?
Ooh, my top five. Eddie Guerrero, 5-star frog splash. Edge and his spear. Randy Orton and the RKO, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give this one Bret Hart and the Bret Hart and the Sharpshooter.
Okay.
Also used by Sting and The Rock. And one finishing move I feel like that tends to get overlooked a lot, and it just shows how technically sound he is. Kurt Hennig in the Hennigplex, aka the Perfect Plex.
I don't remember that one for some reason.
He basically looked like he was about to suplex you, and then what he did was when he brought you over in the suplex, he would bridge up and hold you in that position for the pinfall. And every time he did it,
similar. What's his name? Big Pump used to do. He used to suplex you, and he just threw you, and he just walked forward almost. I know different, but similar.
Different, yeah. But what he did was he would grab you, he would roll you over in a suplex, have you down, and then he would bridge his legs up to where basically that was called the Hennigplex, and he will hold it for the pinfall.
Okay.
And I feel like the way he always executed it, every time you've watched him do it, I can't think of a time of him ever doing it wrong or slipping or coming up short.
Mm-hmm.
He always found a way to execute it very well, and it worked.
All right. Yeah, I totally agree. Wally, what's going on, my man?
Wally, ça café.
Bien. What's going on?
Not much.
All right, what you got on this, bro?
Is there a question or just the follow-up statement as far as what we're talking about?
Yeah, just your opinion. Which one's your top five finishers?
Okay, as far as the question go, top five finishers. Let's see here. Yeah,
Thanks,
I mean,
Eric. I didn't realize
Stone
that.
Cold. Yeah, well, not Stone Cold, but the what do you call this finisher again? Okay, the freaking the Stone Cold Stunner. That's what I missed. Yeah, the Stone Cold Stunner is one. Neither you can look at this neither as the rock bottom and or the well, yeah. I mean, Rock's version of the bottom drop was more creative. Actually, no. I'm thinking about the wrong one. No. I'm talking about the People's Elbow. I ain't gonna lie. The People's Elbow. Never mind.
Okay.
The People's Elbow. That's what I meant to say. I'm thinking about the wrong one. But yeah, Kurt Angle's Angle Slam. I actually love that one. What else is there? The F5, and after that, uh, yeah, I think Jackhammer is more unique too. So yeah.
See, like I said earlier, I don't know if you guys heard, like with I think you did, Wally, with Hogan's finisher, the big boot. It was okay. It wasn't like anything special about it. I felt,
Well, yeah, because he has no real impact towards it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know Hogan had a big impact on wrestling. I cannot take that away from him. But I said it before. I know when he wrestled in Japan, he was more a technical wrestler. But in the States, he wasn't very technical. It was very things here and there.
Well, that's just the culture of wrestling based upon what district you're in. Because of course, again, if you're in the Spanish side of wrestling, you would be extremely technical and high flyer.
Yeah.
If you're in the Japanese, you're probably technical, more so also strong style. However, that is depending on whatever style you go. I think well, Japan more in the Asian sector morally developed that a little bit more, but yeah. And as far as and then of course America again also have to evolve the same way. Where the thing is this, I guess it all really depends on who you work for and how they're looking at wrestling as far as who they're trying to cultivate the game around.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we all know Vince was all about the big men, big muscular men.
Yeah, at one point, yeah, he is all he used to get.
No, not 1 point for the entirety of his time running.
Guys like
If you
Chris
hire
Masters,
some
guys like
people-
Batista,
Say it again.
guys like Chris
No. I
Masters.
heard what you said. Anton. I'm talking about Peter.
Like he had some people who were not muscular, like Shawn Michaels. He wasn't a big guy, for example.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, Shawn Michaels is just a moneymaker at most cases. So yeah, it was
Good
easy.
point.
But at this point, let's be very clear. When the WWE, let's be real, when it was time for Vince to truly pick, to quote unquote pick the big guy, to pick the guy that's gonna be the guy. Let's be real here. We all know what it was back then. Of course, let's be real. Back then it wasn't as quote unquote big man wrestling. It was being technical, being good at what you do, and at the same time now also being spectacular. This is why Shawn Michaels got big as he did, and the screw job became what it became.
Mm-hmm.
But later down the stretch, when we're talking about early to later 2000s, yeah, you start seeing that more, aka the big guy echelons, in a sense.
Yeah, I know. During the Attitude Era, that's all he used to push, the big guys. I don't remember ever seeing Shawn Michaels, for example, with a title. Maybe a tag team, but not a world title or anything, or a WWE title.
Right. I mean, don't even there was some few in betweens that were able to get that title, but those were also based upon pedigrees as well. So that it also that's what I'm saying. That era of that time where he was sort of pushing that more and more was very dependent on certain factor points. So again, these were things of that nature. Like for instance, Kurt Angle, he was able to be a world champion even though he wasn't that big, but he was able to handle those bigger guys. So he was able to really put on a show with those guys, being able to lift them up and do what he's able to do. This is why Kurt Angle versus Brock was something interesting. This is why Kurt Angle with Big Show to a certain degree was sort of interesting when he was actually able to pick him up and do an angle slam like that, even though that was almost, a little bit bad, but keyword almost. And, stuff like that. So certain people with certain strength abilities were able to do certain things.
I do remember. I guys remember. I can't remember who it was. It was Cena Big Show, and it was another wrestler. I can remember he had to slam both of them, and he went to Big Show. Can you get under 240? He goes, no problem. He came in at 245. He goes, I got you. Don't worry. I can slam both of you guys. And he picked up both of his wrestlers, those guys, and he slammed them. I think it was Kurt Angle was the other person. I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember who it was.
Who it was, but because I forgot who he did like that. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, whoever, because if it was a scenery where Cena was picking both of the people up, probably one of them falled off or got off, and then he just slammed Big Show. But yeah.
I don't remember that much of it, to be honest with you, but I do remember watching a recently an interview with Big Show, and Big Show even said it, like, he asked me to get down to 240, and he was shy by like a couple pounds, like it was a 245, 247, around there, but he was able to handle that because he was training double of that, because he was working out at the gym. But
Right.
Cena's incredible strong, let's be honest here.
Well, yeah. I think, because I've seen this similar interview you're talking about, because Big Show definitely named certain people he knows that can actually pick him up and that were good at picking him up and tossing him. So
And I'm always a big fan of those finishers. You put some effort into it, like the RKO. I feel like there's a good effort into it. Like, Shawn Michaels' sweet music. It's a super kick. Nothing. I think right now the super kick is way overrated at this point.
I think it's about timing also.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, so here's my thing, right? 'Cause I know Eric put down who was the first person to start the super kick. It's like, yeah, there will always be many quote unquote imitators of the move, but let's be very clear though. The
Chris
difference
Adams.
between Shawn Michaels and everybody else that's doing the super kick is a fast, swift move that you can just hit. The sweet chin music was pretty much like what Anton said, was timing and precision.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with Shawn Michaels, you also have to think about the moments and the position.
Yeah.
That super kick of the sweet chin music to freaking Shelton Benjamin, instant classic, will be forever remembered in ages. Even the one when Shawn Michaels super kicked and fall flat on his face, remembered in ages. It's about the showing and telling of it, and let's be honest, there's just no one ultimately better. I think the second person you could probably say that is close to Shawn Michaels doing a super kick is Nick Nevins, aka I forgot his name in WWE, but yeah, if you know who I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because some people will say the sweet chin music is one of the perfectest finishers ever made. I disagree personally.
Really? There were a lot of good finishes. One good finish move I think we forgot to mention, Pedigree by Triple H, now being used by Seth Rollins at times. I'm trying to figure who else. I like the one that was definitely. Yes, you're right, Eric. The RKO is essentially a jumping diamond cutter. Diamond Dallas Page.
That is very true.
Diamond Dallas Page also has a move similar to it was called the Diamond Cutter. You're right. Thank you, Eric, for putting it out there.
Right, because go ahead.
One good move also, and it had to be timing also, and trust, Scott Hall with the Razor's Edge. The Flying Elbow by Macho Man Randy Savage. Because it's a combination.
I mean, I wouldn't say that in timing. I'd say that's more like form.
Form and placement?
Form, placement, yeah, basically. But I wouldn't say timing.
Okay. Can never go wrong with the Stone Cold Cutter. Can't go wrong with that. You can never go wrong with that. That was like
Stone Cold Cutter? I thought it was he only had the
stunner. I mean, the stunner.
Like, wait,
it's still technically. I mean, technically, it still is a cutter in the way of how it's done, but just in a different format.
Right.
But yeah.
And even Stone Cold said when Kevin Owens asked his permission to use that move, he goes, "I'm surprised nobody ever asked me except you."
Right.
And I had the balls go up to him like, "Yo, can I use it?"
No, but I think people did that because they actually respect it. So it's like no one didn't want to reuse it. So it's like it's more of a respect thing. That's probably why.
It's almost like you're asking for their blessing because I think Damian Priest asked Scott Hall before he passed away about using the Razor's Edge, and Hall was like, "Sure, go right on ahead." And Damian Priest uses the Razor's Edge as one of his finishing moves. So, like, Damian Priest is someone that respects the history and a lot of the wrestlers that came before him. So, for him to ask Scott Hall that before he passed away, that's a classy move right there. Because to me, I feel like if you're going to do a finishing move or you're going to move that's always been associated with a particular wrestler, I feel either you should ask that wrestler for permission. Ooh, very good one, Eric. The Tully Blanchard slingshot suplex, good one. I say either you ask them for permission, or if the wrestler has passed on, ask the family's permission and find a way to use it without people even expecting it. Because I forgot what because I remember one wrestler did a 5-star frog splash as a tribute to Eddie Guerrero. And like some people have done moves like that in tribute to previous wrestlers.
Dominic Mysterio?
I think so.
Because he does the frog splash, I know that. And he does a 619 too.
Yeah.
He has 2 finishers.
Wait,
and
what finisher you said again?
Say again?
And I said what finisher? You said that
5-star frog splash.
I mean, isn't that really just a frog splash?
Hey.
I mean, you gotta, you gotta think about it. There is the 5-star frog splash, aka RVD, and then there is the frog splash. Essence, you could say whoever amongst the many that did it, aka the Eddie. I think because again, you got to think to the distinction of how people do it. But I think more case than not, he's morely doing the Eddie version, standard point of the frog splash in a sense.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. I'll go with that. I'll definitely go with that. Eric brought up one that's very good. Tully Blanchard slingshot suplex. That was a very good move. And people forget Tully Blanchard, he was very good as a singles, and he was good tag teaming with Arn Anderson, and they were known as the Brain Busters, managed by the late great Bobby the Brain Heenan. And those two worked great together.
So this is one question I do ask. So you said that the Sweet Chin Music isn't like, what was the previous statement you said plus the disagreement?
I said it was about timing.
No. I know what you said. I'm saying about Peter, because he said that it wasn't that great, and he said that he doesn't think it's the best one, something like that, to that degree.
People are arguing that Sweet Chin Music is one of the most perfect finisher ever made.
Okay.
And I personally disagree with that because...
Okay, well, what do you think is the perfect finisher ever made?
Personally, I think the jackhammer is the perfect one. Personally,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Opinion, of course.
Well, yeah, it's an opinion, but the opinion also have to match the idea of how you're pointing it, because we also got to think about this two things of this whole process, right? Because I can sit here and say, yeah, we can look at it and say this, right? Mm-hmm. Sweet Chin Music is nothing but a standard higher octane super kick, whereas the jackhammer is something much more different. It's an angle point suplex, but with the pin, and you putting your body against their body and then going for the pin. Now, the difference is, well, if that's the case, well, why has it? Well, of course, we can always sit here and say no one didn't touch the jackhammer because it was a respected move, right, and it was a move that's owned by Goldberg, just pure point blank. But then you have to ask yourself this too: how much people could have actually performed that move if they were able to? That's another thing. And two, I mean, again, we can see a whole bunch of people hit a super kick, but again, there's levels to the super kick. And I think Shawn Michaels has the highest volume of that. Also, to remind you, the super kick also to freaking Ric Flair was another classic one.
Yeah, right. That was definitely a classic one because he goes right before he throws it. He goes, "I'm sorry." And
well, in the storyline, I said the Ric Flair super kick. Yeah.
That he basically said, "I'm sorry," and then he said, "I love you." Gave him the super kick, pinned him, and then kissed him on his forehead. And you can see the tears in his eyes, like he had tears in his eyes, like, oh man, I don't believe, like, that's it. Like, I'm the one I'm the one pitting him for his last match. And, sometimes you could tell that it was genuine with Michaels because he always respected Flair.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's be real. I mean, a lot of people talk about, the idea of not wanting to take the quote unquote the undefeated streak from Undertaker.
Oh yeah.
But let's be honest. Well, I think there's a true argument where you have to ask yourself, what's more worse, retiring Ric Flair or retiring the streak? When you look at the storylines, honestly, I'm sorry. For wrestling, Ric Flair's retirement and being the one to retire is a way more better storyline, in my opinion.
Really?
Yes, hands down.
That's right.
Wow.
I'm sorry. No, because you have to think about it. Again, I can argue that the idea of Brock taking the whole, streak is still poetry because of the simple fact of the way back when Undertaker met up with Brock at USC and trying to get him back. I can understand that. But personally, to the fact that when we're talking about storyline buildup, no, I'm sorry. Hands down, the Ric Flair storyline, it was so emotional up until that point. No, because even Batista didn't want to do it, and he was asked to do it, and he forfeited that shit. Like, no, sorry, no, no. That shit was way more heavier, way more.
Okay, because it's not that easy. I mean, like you said, it isn't easy to be the one to retire a legend. It has to be tough. It really does. Like, and sometimes with some guys, it's like, I can't do this. It's like, I have so much respect for that.
Because of course, it gets emotional. That. It's like that, and that's what I'm saying. The adrenaline of that, this being considered a villain to people, where you force the hand of that.
Yeah.
Tough. But let's welcome in the next guest.
All right, let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our president. Mr. President, how are you doing tonight?
I am well, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. It's good, Wally. How you doing?
So before we get you any poll, I want to say one thing. With the streak you guys were saying before, I don't think Brock Lesnar was the right person to end the streak. It could have been somebody else.
Like
There's
who?
so many other people he could have passed the torch to. Even the Fiend, for example.
Bray
He could have
Wyatt.
passed-
Well, was it about passing a torch, or was it about beating something that just seemed unbeatable? I think that's the problem. That's another reason why I said that I don't really like the idea of the storyline behind beating the streak, because what was really the reward in beating the streak was, and that's my whole point, was you really passing on something to somebody to say this is going to be the person that takes over the streak? Was you passing the aura of Undertaker as far as the next newest deadliest threat of the streak? Or what is really the give and take of it? You don't really gain nothing out of that. That's what I'm saying. The thing with Ric Flair and his story was way more impactful. With Undertaker, there really wasn't a give. And the fact that, to your point, they didn't let someone younger take it, it shows that right there is no passing. Because, like, okay, let's be honest. With a streak like that, you have to ask yourself, who else in today's age would you want to do that? But that's the problem. Because a lot of people, or in this case, what Triple H would say, or many other people in the media of WWE would say, they would never try to, quote unquote, replicate something of that magnitude to this level again in this time because of the new talent coming on in. But to a point, again, this goes back to the idea, who would you rather? But at the same time, I ain't gonna lie, personally, even at that point, when you look at the wrestlers of that point of when that streak could have been beaten, I honestly wouldn't give it to anyone anyways, because that is sort of the risk and reward of it all with Brock. And it's like, at one point, I'm still okay with the fact that Brock taking it, because again, the shock factor was enough for me looking at people's faces. But at the end of the day, though, giving it to somebody, like, let's be real, if you gave it to Roman, are you expecting Roman to now have the winning streak every single time at WrestleMania? Because then at that point, then you get tired of Roman. because again, people are already tired. So who do you give it to?
Honestly, I could have seen, if it was possible, maybe Bray Wyatt because of the.
But yeah, then he passed.
Yeah, but honestly,
that's a telegraphing thing. Which, don't get me wrong, I would definitely, like, I agree with you. Bray Wyatt would be a nice pick. The sad thing is the sad fact that he passed away, which would have been the death mark, which that would have been the sucky part. But I
think what it would have did, it would have been. I think I see what you're saying. It probably would have sucked, but I think it would have led to this, I guess, a sense of. I guess it would add to his legacy. The fact that he beat the streak. Sadly, he did pass away. I think it would have added to that legacy of he was a great storyteller.
Well, I would have believed it adds to his aura.
Okay.
That's what I would have believed. But that's what I'm saying. Like, again, what was he passing on to that? Because, again, I do believe that Undertaker was definitely passing on the torch. But that's the problem. Like, you should have just passed on the aura because he was the new deadly threat. But that's the problem. They didn't do that. Yeah. And surprisingly enough, thank goodness.
All right, let's get Paul in here for a second. Let's see what his top five finishers are.
All right, top five. Just keep in mind my criteria for finisher. Like I said, I'm a wrestling fan. So I'm not so much sold on sports entertainment just because it looks cool or exciting on TV. I don't necessarily consider it a great finish. So you can have somebody going through tables and chairs, but, is that practical? And also, I kind of like things that have some real world applications to them. That when you put it on, it's like you believe in your mind that, yeah, this could be it for somebody. So with that in mind, I only have one move in my top five that I would say is probably not real, but it's still popped. It's still one of my favorites. It's still associated with, in my view, private life besides the point. Certainly one of the greatest, moves ever, one of the biggest moments in wrestling ever. And so I'll put that at number 5. But outside of that, so you have the DDT number 1. Because that, again, Jake Roberts and Ricky actually did a shoot. I mean, he literally, when he suplexed them on the outside, that was like real stuff. Like, Jake didn't want to do it. But he promised to promote it, to do it or whatever. It's like, look, you can't block that. I mean, the ring is one thing, but you can't block that on a cement floor. He put Ricky Steamboat out. So that right there is, that's number 1 to me. Second, this might not be sexy, but the sleeper. I mean, before MMA and rear naked chokes, I mean, you can put somebody out. Or apply the right pressure, you get some pressure on the throat or whatever, the guy's gone.
And
it's a very dangerous move. And I remember, high school or whatnot, guys putting that on or whatnot. It was a very dangerous situation when you put somebody in that kind of position.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Paul. I'm sorry to cut you off. And Antonio back me up. The original move of the rear naked choke is the hanging naked choke. That's even more dangerous. You let the guy hang from your arm, and he's out in seconds. And before you put it on, he's already out. I'm like, God damn, you're out already.
Yeah,
let me have fun here first.
Yeah,
you apply the right amount of pressure in the right place. That's it.
Yeah.
Next on the list would be the figure 4.
Really?
Because again, I've known guys who've gotten put in figure 4s, and you can hurt that leg like really.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Paul. Ric Flair or Greg the Hammer Valentine?
Probably Greg. I think he might have been more effective. It was like Rick never pinned anybody with the figure 4. It's like, it was basically there. It was a moment or whatever, but either someone reversed it or I never saw him really finish anybody off with it. I'd probably put Greg Hammers over Rick's.
Okay.
Are we saying finish as far as a count, or are we talking about a tap out?
Tap out.
Tap out.
He has finished people with a tap out, but that's probably later on.
Yeah. But I mean, but in terms of like I said, I'm going for realism. A guy's going to be laying there for 50 seconds to let a move happen to you. I don't necessarily consider that. But like I said, that I make one exception, and this is the only exception I'm making to the rule. So I gave you my 4. This is my 5th. And everybody's done it. It's not new. It's not, I don't think he necessarily reinvented the wheel, but guys have done it. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, the Superfly SWAT. One of the greatest moments in Madison Square Garden history. Jimmy Snuka climbs on top of the steel cage. First, he goes to the top rope, and he's like, oh, wait, let me just keep going up. He goes up to the top of the cage against Don Morocco. And again,
Yes.
Don's just standing there like this. He knows it's coming. It's like, when are you going to do this? In fact, when he's coming down, he actually lifts himself up to kind of block some of the blow a little bit. So it's like you could have got up like 10 minutes ago, but you just wanted to sell the move. But I'm saying, at the time, very few wrestlers look like Jimmy Superfly Snuka in terms of physique, his athleticism at the time. And when he went to the top rope, everybody lost their stuff. Everybody. That was the best finishing move on TV. And that move at Madison Square Garden against Don Morocco, the place absolutely just went. You talk about pandemonium is an understatement.
Exploded.
Exploded. And in fact, that actually changed the course of Jimmy Snuka's career and ultimately Hulk Hogan's career. Because Vince was about to bring Hulk Hogan in. This is 83, 84. Vince was looking to bring Hogan back because he was there before in 79, 80 as the Incredible Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in the documentary. That's right.
He was coming back. He was looking to bring him back. And this is after Rocky 3.
That's right.
And he was looking to bring him back. Hulkamania, which actually started in AWA. It didn't start in WWF. It started in AWA. He was looking to bring him back, but there was a problem. And that problem was Jimmy Superfly Snuka. He was the hottest thing going. He made a face turn in early 1983 against Lou Albano. When he went face, it was like nobody could compete with him. And Vince was not going to bring in Hogan when everybody wanted Snuka. Hogan was going to be second fiddle. So what he did was he got him into a feud and somewhat of a real life shoot with Roddy Piper. And that took a lot of the steam. That took a lot of the energy out of the room because basically Piper's job was to kind of, tamp down some of the heat on or some of the attention on Jimmy Snuka so Hogan can kind of advance. So there's almost kind of became like a revenge for you. But I mean, you could have very easily, again, we find out later on there was some private stuff that was going on with Jimmy Snuka that you couldn't do it. But if you wanted to put the belt on Jimmy Snuka back then, if not the IC and not the World Championship, he probably could have.
Mm-hmm.
He was that popular. And the reason he was that popular was the Superfly SWAT.
Right.
And he did it better than most. I know RVD has his version of it. He does the frog splash. Who was the guy who was part of Nation of Domination?
D'Lo Brown?
Yeah, so he would do it. So other guys have done other splash moves. And then you got the guy who does, but Ben Balor, he does the shooting star or the reverse spin off the top. I mean, other guys have done it. But when Snuka did it, it was like it was something else. You believe that the guy and usually after every move, they always sold it because they always had, especially when they did local TV, they always had the guy. The doctors would come out with the stretcher, and they would put the guy on the stretcher and carry him out. So it's like Jimmy Snuka's being interviewed. You see two doctors or two aides carrying in the background the guy on the stretcher back to the dressing room. I mean, they sold it like, yeah, you put that on, it's over. You know what I mean? So those are my top 5 in terms of moves. But again, I'm going more so on realism and just what I've seen personally. It's like, yeah, there's certain things that don't try these things at home.
Right.
Sleeper, you never did that at home. Again, if you got caught doing that or whatever, you automatically suspended from school. That was just certain things you just did not play with.
Right.
And those moves, brought a realism to it that I just don't see with a lot of these other moves that they're doing, in wrestling now. Again, it may have a kind of like a sizzle effect, but it's like a guy has to really sell it. Those other moves, you didn't really have to sell them. They just worked. If they wanted to shoot again back when you had stretchers, right? Guys with stretcher or shooters.
Mhm.
Like if you acted up, they would put these moves on you for real to teach you a lesson. If you acted up and didn't do what you were supposed to do in the ring, especially if you were like a jobber or mid-level or something like that. So that's my top 5. Again, I'm a bit more old school with it, but there it is.
You know which move I'm surprised no one mentioned? Chris Benoit's. I can't remember what it's called.
The
Ooh.
crossface.
The crossface.
Thank you.
That's actually
Yeah,
on my
I
list.
was
That was actually
actually-
number 6 on the list.
Well, that's
People talk
actually as far as submissions, that's my number 1.
Yeah.
Because he did a pretty good job putting that fucker on. From what I heard, he used to put that shit on hard too.
Yeah.
It wasn't
You
like
can tell that shit's literally touching the back of someone's neck.
Yeah.
Hang on,
like,
did I
he's breaking
mention?
it on.
I'm sorry. I think I might only gave you guys 4. My bad, because I had to shuffle
You're good.
around.
You
Did
said
I mention a pile driver?
No.
no.
Okay. Now, when I say pile driver, I'm talking about the one where you jump up in the air, not the one where you just lean back. So that pile driver, and probably the best whoever did it, in my view, was Paul Orndorff. Hands down, he and they when they would show speed, slow it down, like when they do the replay or whatever. My man was like vertical, like 4 feet off the ground, and kind of jumping down. And again, pile driver is another one of those moves. In fact, that's why guys don't do it anymore.
Right.
Because of how dangerous it is.
Right.
And I think that with wrestling or wrestling, I think there's always that element of realism to say, look, you can really hurt somebody with this.
I think one move also I remember that was banned for a period of time was the jackknife powerbomb.
Yeah.
And one person that was very good at it was Kevin Nash. And
he's the main person that was good at it. He was the one that coined it, if I'm not mistaken.
And the thing is, for the fact that the guy's 7'1", 7'2", you had that height, and it was like, yeah, you going for a ride. And it seemed like when he was doing it in both promotions, it was like he would put some effort into it to make it look real. And you're like,
well, I don't know. I think there might be a competition here because I think that Sid Vicious, his version was pretty good too.
And
if
then
you want to compare who did it better, I don't know. Those guys kind of go, hand in hand there. But no doubt. I mean, certainly the Diesel's was pretty impressive. No doubt.
Height definitely helped. Both of them were 7 foot. It really put that much emphasis into it.
The one person people don't remember as much, he wasn't in WWE for a long period of time. Chris Masters.
Oh yes, the masterpiece.
Yeah, the Master Lock.
Yes.
It wasn't too fancy. But it worked. When he locked that in, and you're going out. And as martial artists, me and you and I know, we know ways to get out of that. Very easily get out of that in real life. But for wrestling, it worked really good for him. It worked for a while for him.
Yeah, he had the height too. That's what it was. He had the height. He had the arm reach. So it definitely made it harder for someone. For definitely anyone 5-6 inches shorter than him, it was hard because
And
he
if
had
you
that
remember, he did a competition for a minute. And
I remember the Master Lock
Master
Challenge. The Master Lock Challenge.
Mhm.
Yeah. And nobody could break it that I remember correctly.
No, Brock, Bobby Lashley did.
Did he? Oh, yeah, I remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. You talk about moves like challenges. Like I remember, again, going back old school, Sergeant Slaughter and the Cobra Clutch.
Yep.
Like he would have those like $10,000 if you could get out of the Cobra Clutch, and like nobody could do. I think Pat Patterson got close. He was gonna do it, like he was gonna get himself out of it, but then knees him in the stomach or whatever, and cheats and kind of gets out of it. It's like no, he never.
And also
You
too,
got
the
muted.
other person
But,
that had a chance of not getting locked up in the Master Lock was also Mark Henry. But if you saw it, it pretty much Master had to cheat a little bit for Mark Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's right.
With the Cobra Clutch, little funny story. When I met Sergeant Slaughter the first time, he literally locked my ass in that, and like he put the pressure on it. I'm like, wow, this actually goddamn hurts a little bit.
Mhm.
And like, and when last year when all of us went and Dave was there, and I looked at his age, was like, yo, how much would it cost me? And like, kind of tweak it a little more. He goes, well, I can do it for free. I just had to tell the guy, crank it in a little bit. Like, could you? He goes, yeah. You see David's face like, oh, he locked it in. He locked it in David pretty good. I'm like, well, money worth spent.
Wow. One wrestler that had a very good finishing move, and people doubted his agility because of his size. I mean, you're probably thinking Bam Bam Bigelow. Yeah, he did have a very good finisher, Greeny from Asbury Park. For a guy his size, he was very agile. Another guy, Bill DeMott, a.k.a. Hugh Morris, the no laughing matter.
Mhm.
For a guy that big to pull off a move like that, that's unheard of.
The most funniest finisher I thought we ever seen was a stink face.
No, it's not a finisher. I mean, it's a move.
That's a gimmick.
I wouldn't call that a finisher, though. I mean, I'll be the opinion.
Like, he used it as a finisher. It was a gimmick. You're right, 100%.
Yeah, it was
he used it as a finisher.
But actually, that's a different category, though. I mean, it's memorable.
Absolutely.
I will give you that. It's certainly memorable. But one move that was sold as if it was very dangerous. It wasn't a finisher. But
he did that variant, but the variant was a slam though. It wasn't locked. But
Yeah, I remember him do the sleeper more than anything, actually.
That's right. He would put you in a sleeper, and then he would take $100 bill, he would put it in your mouth, and then he would.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, not more so of a sleeper. He really actually did the clutch, but then he dropped you with the clutch. That was a slam combination.
Yeah. But there's one move that I remember seeing, and it wasn't long, but it was part of a storyline, but it worked, I thought. Randy Orton's punt.
Yes.
Ooh.
That look, I mean, the way they sold it, it was like, man, like, and it's real. I mean, you kick somebody like flush in the head, you get a running start, and you time the right, you kick them like flush in the head. I mean, that stuff looked. They sold that, I thought, very. They didn't do it very long, and it would have been an illegal move if you actually tried to pin people with it. But it definitely added something that this guy will do something so sadistic, and the fact that I think he did it to Stephanie.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, so that's the thing too. Yeah, he's like that lets you know that he was just unhinged. That he would do. He did it to Vince. He did it to Stephanie. But I thought that was kind of like, man, that's kind of tough to watch.
Here's another one. Seth Rollins, the stomp.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He has pulled some incredible ones in the air too, and Randy Orton too with RKO. Because I remember him going for the stomp,
right.
First stayed into RKO in the mid-air. I'm like, I wonder how long they practiced on crash pads, or that was a wing. I think it was a wing, actually.
I think they winged it, and it just came out perfect.
Yeah.
I think they winged it, and you sitting there like, what? And they nailed it perfect. It was like, they didn't think. They just did it in the time. And like I said, it's timing. And the way it happened, it's almost like they trusted each other and they timed it just right.
You know what it is? I think, Anton, these guys are Randy Orton and Seth Rollins have worked with each other for so long. So they know each other very well. They know their weaknesses and strong points.
Right.
So they have every wrestler has that you have to trust your opponent, right? With your life.
Right.
And he, obviously, Randy Orton trusts Seth to pull the stomp at the perfect point and reverse it to RKO. And it just worked. It was magical. There's some moves when you see it, you're like, it was a lifetime opportunity. You see it, I'm like, oh, like when Ed speared, I can't remember who was on the ladder. He speared somebody off the ladder. It was
that was Christian.
Thank you.
Well, no, sorry, not Christian, but it was Jeff Hardy. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it was the TLC.
Yeah.
The first TLC. Was it first TLC? I think. Whatever it was.
First
ever TLC match. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And they had that. They talked about that spot. he was gonna spear him. And he was turning, it was like, oh boy. And if he turned a wrong way, he was gonna miss him or he was gonna hurt him.
Yeah.
It just timing was perfect. And he turned around and go, here's my opportunity. Boom. And we're like, ooh, that might taste a little funny afterwards, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But that's why I know we're talking about finishers, and I know Paul has your opinion. I still think that the spear is one of the best finishers, and like a lot of people use it.
Yeah, that was actually number 7 on my list. So crippler crossface, and then the spear / jack. I mean, I almost look at it as like two, like one continuous move. First the spear, and then the jackhammer by Goldberg. I thought that was pretty. That was
Hey,
like
one of my favorite. I agree with you,
he
Paul,
pulled
that's
that
one of
off.
my
It was like over. It was definitely over.
Yeah. It depends who does the spear. That's my thing. And like Randy Orton, I know Randy. What's his name?
Roman
I have it
Reigns?
right here. Roman Reigns does a great spear, but Jey Uso spear is sloppy as hell. I think it's sloppy. I think he needs to change his finish.
Well, some of these guys, it's like you're not even making
Not even his
contact.
finish.
I mean, like I said, you got to sell it. Like they've always been like the football 3-point stance or whatever, like Jim Duggan used to do, whatever, or something. But you got to sell, like there's got to be like some contact. Like it's like, yeah, you really got this guy in the solar plexus or the midsection or something, and you got to sell it. Like, yeah, especially when they play those replays. The nice thing I liked about, again, the wrestling days from WCW or NWA, they would play those replays, and you could tell guys, because they slowed it down so much that, yeah, if something was faked or whatever, or you could see the guy moving, you would see it. But they sold it like it was, like it was a legit move. So I really appreciated, what they put into it. But now with all the high flying and stuff, somebody, let me ask you guys this. On the flip side, what's either the dumbest move that you've seen, the lousiest finisher that people sell but you hate,
Leg drop,
or just moves in?
I'm sorry, but I
ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you, Wally.
Here's another one: the tsunami. That big goof who jumps off the top rope and he just jumps and just flops there. And like, to me, that's nothing. I don't see anything special about it. I hate when I see him going up there. He's too fucking fat to get on the top row, and 2, he's using his belly to impact everybody.
Well, what do you expect? You could say the same thing about those other big guys that did the same thing when they did that. When they did their, for instance, what's the guy name with the V bomb?
Gator.
Yeah, he did the same thing. Big belly, drop on people's bodies, same shit. I mean, there's a lot.
I'm sorry, Wally, but the other one is the worm. What his fucking name is?
Horrible. Yes, horrible.
Yeah. He did.
Scotty Too Hotty, all those. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just performative.
There's
but
a lot
I mean,
of
like
dumb ones out there. There's a lot of dumb ones for sure. Like,
5-knuckle, I would agree with that. I don't like
the
five
5-knuckle
knuckle
shuffle is not a finisher. That's just the.
But I'm saying, but it doesn't have to be a finisher. I'm just saying moves. Like what moves in wrestling. But it could be a finish. It could be just. The thing that annoys me the most is what they call the desperation maneuver. That's where a guy's getting beat up, he's getting tore up or whatnot. Usually it's in a tag team match, and the guy goes for a back body drop. The guy then grabs his head. Both of them jump up in the air, and the image is like the guy then rams his head into the ground. But it's done so poorly. It's like it defies the laws of physics. It's like it's coming, you put your head down, and then as soon as he doesn't even grab your head, you just move with him as he does it, and you kind of do a face plan or whatever. And that's supposed to be the move that the guy crawls over to his partner and tags in, and then you get the hot tag and finish or whatever. It's the dumbest move ever, and I don't know. I never got that. But they have to find some way to get the guy, especially if he's been taking a lot of income. I know with the Rock and Roll Express from the day, Ricky Morton, he was like a master of that. He would be getting beat up for 10 minutes or whatever, and everyone's like, come on, make the tag, and everyone's getting pumped up or whatever, and then he'll do some kind of move to get over to his partner and get the hot tag in. But that move I could never stand. 5-knuckle shuffle, I agree with you. I'm not a big fan of what's it? Oh, geez, I'm having a brain freeze right now. The guy who does the knee So he puts you over his back.
Oh, you talking
and
about CM Punk
CM
to go to
Punk?
sleep?
I don't. Yeah, I think that
Uh,
move is worthless. It's like I can't see you putting out grown men with that. I just can't see it.
I
It
mean,
doesn't. It
well,
doesn't. It never looked convincing to me at all.
I mean, you'll be surprised. I mean, you got to think about it, right? If you hit the right spot on the head, you could probably put someone to sleep. Because again, you've seen it. If you look at MMA, it's like do Muay Thai grapple and then start kneeing someone's head. You can put someone out. So
Yeah.
if you hit the right spot when you hit the knee and you drop them on it, it could possibly happen. Now, granted, I'm not saying that this is across the board because again, it's also about angles. So this also has to be properly in the right place, in the right position. So I will say, yeah, you got a point because again,
All right, but it's also about force production, right? Because usually,
yeah.
in MMA, if a guy gets knee, like you almost get like a running start, and you get like a jumping, flying knee into the chest or the head or whatever. Yeah, you definitely take someone out.
that actually
CM
happened
Punk
in
is
an
like what
MMA fight.
5'9", so the guy's not even up in the air. So he's on his shoulders. He does a little flip. He's not that high off the ground, and he just lifts his knee up. He's not even like driving it with any kind of power or force that you would think would impact somebody, especially compared to what's done in MMA. So like I said, it just doesn't. It just doesn't look
there
very
actually
convincing.
was a
I
fight.
agree with you. There's points. Yeah.
There was one MMA fight where that's what happened. The guy came in low. The other fighter came in with a flying knee, knocked him out.
I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about Jorge Masvidal with the
Yes,
that was just nasty.
Yeah,
that was 9 seconds, and timed
he
it.
came charging though, right?
He came in
He
charge.
charged him and sent him packing. That shit
Yeah,
was
that's what I'm saying. If you can get that kind of speed and power and then drive the knee in like that, yeah, I can see that being a very effective move.
Right, but
not the way
from
CM
my
Punk does.
standpoint,
fast.
right, but from my standpoint, I'm talking about like if you're getting someone with like a Muay Thai plum, that's what I'm also talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh, for sure.
From that
Yeah.
standpoint, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the comparison I'm making with CM Punk. It's like you grabbing someone in that close range. That's what I'm saying. It takes precision because you have to be really good to hit that person in that right spot. Now, granted, of course, because of wrestling, you're not trying to do that. But if you actually can do it and hit the person in the right place when you eventually get them off your shoulders, that's the thing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree with you because of the simple fact of it's also with precision, and you have to know if you're going to hit that spot when you let them go off your shoulders. So, yeah, I agree. I can understand that.
All right, let me ask you guys two questions really fast. So, AJ Styles finisher. What do you guys think about that one?
Which finisher are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
When he locks somebody in and he jumps like on the ground.
Okay, you're talking about his pin finisher.
Yes.
I look at that as a standard technical pin combination. That's how I look at it.
All right. The second question I got for you guys: the Demons, Finn Balor, I can't pronounce the freaking name.
I forgot.
When he
I know what you're
jumps-
talking about, but the
Yeah,
stomp
he literally.
stomp.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Wally.
No, you're talking about the stomp. Yeah.
Yeah, and when he jumps off the top rope and he goes heel down on top of someone's chest. That's his finisher. I think this it's okay.
I think it goes back to what Mr. Bennett said about they're there, but it can easily be like resolved by moving the fuck out of the way. So, but as far as contact, but don't get me wrong, as far as contact, that could be a real good stomach gutter because that stumping on someone's body. Like for him, I think it's okay for him because he is of a particular weight, but let that be someone else, that would be dangerous.
Yeah.
Let's say they use like a Undertaker, for example. He's a pretty heavy guy. He coming off the rope, stomping on your stomach. You're done.
But see, now you say
You're talking
Undertaker,
about the coup
right?
de grace, right?
Now again,
Yes.
I gotta say that move might have been good the first couple times I saw it, but the walking the rope, holding a guy's arm, climbing up on the
old
rope,
school.
walking across the rope, and the guy's just there, right? I mean, it's just like it's like you could do if you just do this, he's coming off the rope pretty much. So you're literally holding him up as he's doing it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that got old. Yeah, old school. That got old after a while
But the fact
because
that
it's just like, I mean,
that's balance.
Oh yeah.
No, you could tell. Like there were certain times the guy's like, okay, look, you got to hold me up as I'm doing this. Right?
But to be honest,
So all I gotta do is do a little push like that, and he goes flying off the rope or he splits.
all right.
You're 100% right. I'm not denying. but it looks cool as we're watching it. I'll give him that.
Mhm.
But
Like I said,
as
after a while, it got like I said,
got
some
old.
things it
That's why
just
he stopped
gets
using it.
redundant after a while. I
Yeah,
thought.
after a while, he stopped using it. If you only use it on rare occasions.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
But-
Here's one. Here's another one. How about and I think we might have mentioned it, but I don't think we did. Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail.
That's creative.
Yeah, that he.
Honestly, with him, I think it's the more amazing thing with him is that the fact that he can get into that reverse crab position and crawl backwards for a guy that size. That's more impressive to me than his finishing move. To be that big and heavy, but that flexible to be able to do that. I mean, I couldn't do that if you pay me $1 million. I couldn't do that. I mean,
Mr.
I
Workout.
got
Come
no
on
I
now.
think,
like maybe
but
like
yeah, but
even
to be honest, I
yoga
think
class or
that's
something.
really
It's like, yeah, get on your back and try to push up and form that arch. Something's breaking, bro. I've never been able to do that. There's no way.
So here's I want to go talk 1 second with Bray Wyatt. I think he was a brilliant mind, and we lost weight.
Yes.
The stories he used to come out like, and when I heard they released, I'm like, what the fuck are they thinking? And when they brought him back, and if Bray was still around with Y6, I think the Y6 would have been very successful with his vision.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we lost some weight.
Eric's mentioned Samoa Joe. Now I'll give Samoa Joe credit, especially when he was in I guess TNA. I mean, it was like he was like doing shoots. Especially if they brought the Japanese guys in and whatnot. I mean, they definitely sold a level of realism there. It was almost like shoot wrestling. Some of the punishment he would take. So I got to give him credit for that. Why? That's one of these why he wasn't able to sell in WWE. That
was because of other stuff. I mean, it really wasn't because of him. But personally, though, because I know we talked about the whole sleeper. Samoa Joe sleeper is probably the best in business. One of the best in business.
Yeah.
Hands down. But clean and clutch is just savagery.
Mm-hmm.
But what Eric just mentioned, go ahead. Thank you, Wally.
Hell's Gate. Now, see, this is true. The Hell's Gate was true technical triangle chokehold MMA style. Well, it's not a triangle chokehold. It's actually an omoplata. That's the real terminology. Chokehold, and that was true technical to form. That's how you let you know that Undertaker had to truly get into MMA, but not ultimately getting into MMA, because that was sickening. And to him to do it perfectly, it's really nice.
That shows he really took the time to master that move. Like,
do you think Dane? Because there was a window where they were actually trying to get Brock Lesnar. Remember that standoff? I think Undertaker was at a Brock Lesnar event. They had a little standoff after the match or something like that.
Yeah.
You think they could have pulled that off?
As far as what you mean?
Like an MMA match?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
And the only reason.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Well, just to finish this part of him answering, the only reason why I say this is because you have to rewire and refocus. Like, don't get me wrong, you can definitely tell like Undertaker definitely has a sense of striking ability, but because of his height and his everything else, Undertaker would be literally fucked as far as in MMA. Because again, dealing with an actual real wrestler, like Undertaker's not, as far as I know, a true dedicated wrestler to that point to actually deal with wrestling style in MMA world. Yeah. So this is extremely different. He would ultimately be hit as a striker because of the simple fact of where his height and everything else. But now moving to that flex and durability of saying, well, are you a striker that can actually kick? Can you really get into the Muay Thai type stuff? Can you get to that? That's going to be the thing right there. That pivot, that's going to be the thing. And then, of course, that conditioning to your body overall to really get to that. So that's going to be the thing. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't believe Undertaker would ever really get to that unless he actually put himself in it. But seeing him being able to grapple, that's something like that was showed. Like he definitely has some dedication to understanding he wanted to get into it, but never did. Because a lot of people say as a wrestler, like, yeah, they want to get into MMA, but not to the dedication to actually competing. Some people did, like Batista, but granted, he never let go of the muscle, which I wish he did. Because personally,
CM Punk did too.
CM Punk, that's a bad case. Respectfully, that's a bad case. I'm sorry.
He got his ass whooped, but he still did MMA.
Oh no, he
But
tried it. I mean, good for him. But I think honestly, if you
that's
just
one
be
thing they don't
realistic,
realize.
And I'm saying him versus Brock because again, I didn't think Brock was very good in MMA, and really all you had to do with him, you just had to get past the first round.
well, yeah, again, to a lot of people that think like, again, because a lot of people don't think Brock was that good. I mean, he wasn't a good striker. That doesn't mean he wasn't a good wrestler. Because again, wrestling.
But he didn't know. All he knew was ground and pound. That was it.
Right,
that was
but that's what most people knew. That what most people knew. The same thing we can say about Ronda Rousey. She was a grappler, and that's all she's good at.
But
judo,
she also did judo,
armbar.
And that was the thing. She did judo, which helps, but you can only do so much with judo. That was the problem. She never tried to mix it up with anything different.
Right.
Well, not really, because there's a lot that you can do with judo. It's just the fact that she wasn't good enough as a striker to do anything. Because, like, if you really think about it, boxing can mix with judo. Just that the technical paralysis. Then you got to think about it. Do I keep my pace distance or do I get closer? That is a trickery because you got to think about it. Grappling and striking is a science. Once you've been able to really make people consider, once you really get developed, this is why it's so dangerous. John Jones is a perfect example. He was so dangerous to the point that he had enough length and height to keep you at bay with kicks in his own length, his arm strength,
right?
Like his arm length, because he was 84 inches of length. So he keeps you in far distance. Then the problem is, well, okay, he also got the kicks. Then the problem is, oh, you got in? Okay, great. Now you're going to get wrestled. Or you're going to get kneed in the head or elbowed. That's a problem. So, again, Ronda, if she ever developed to be any more, she could be dangerous because boxing alone could have got her in there and then swapped in the judo. Same thing. Rinse repeat. So, yeah. Frank Mir putting Brock away by submission, and it was beautiful thing. Eric is always gonna trash it for that.
That was his first. I think that was his first match in MMA. Was that?
Yeah.
No. I don't think they did that. There was some other match before he got an MMA. But I think that was his toughest match.
But it was pretty early on.
It was pretty early on because he was a hyper trained.
Yeah. One thing about Brock, people forget when he was wrestling. I think it was Kurt Angle. He did the Shooting Star, was it? I think. And
he did the Shooting Star.
Yeah, he used to be able to do that all the time when he was on a different promotion, and somebody says, "Come on, dude, you gotta do it, you gotta do it," and he says, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it," and he misjudged it. He landed on his head, and he had a really bad concussion.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of
that Frank Mir, that was his second fight.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting. I don't. Yeah, because I wouldn't believe they would do that, but knowing Dana White, he probably would for entertainment, but. Yeah, but that Shooting Star press that he did, and this is another thing about Brock is like, if you ever say Brock wasn't good in wrestling, you're lying to yourself because that guy could move. But the problem with flying techniques, that's the thing with those types of flying techniques. You will miss. If you miss and you overdo it, you just F. It's pretty much the same thing even with Kurt a little bit with him doing it the same way because they sort of called him out on that a little bit too. Even with Jeff, there was an interview that he would say like, oh, these are certain moves that I wouldn't do anymore because of the fact of just launching. And I remember seeing young Jeff Hardy in the Indies shooting, and I'm like, yo, he missed the target completely. I'm like, how you do that?
And you just said it, Wally. If you miss, you overshoot or undershoot, you're fucked. And I think that's why the Swanton Bomb became his iconic move, because when he's off the rope, he can see where he's going. Right. So he can turn when he's ready. But you have to be a cat instinct, because when you're off the air, you got to spin your body correctly. And going down, that hasn't hurt him over time.
Yeah. It did put a pounding. It did do a lot of damage. It did a good amount of pounding on him for a period of time where he was hurt. And unfortunately, because he was hurt, it led to all the other stuff that he was having issues with.
Well, yeah, his demons and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, are you willing to do it is the question. And moves like the Swanton Bomb, I think Billy Kidman had a move. I think that was, I forgot what his move was called before. He used to do, because if I remember, he used to literally backflip off the top rope. I think it was called the Shooting Star Press. I think when he was with Ravens Flight, it was called the 7-year itch. Something in that aspect. And you have to really time it right, because you're jumping and you're going backwards at the same time. And I'm surprised he was able to time it right.
Keyword timing.
Yeah.
That's why I think we don't see too many high flyers as much that we did in the 90s and Attitude Era, because one move you end your career very easily.
Yeah. I think
Well,
unfortunately
I don't think so. It's really just that. I think it's more so also too is like just how far it goes. Like because even with I know people were asking AJ Styles about the sling shoot. Why you don't do that no more? He said that, bro. I'm too old for that right now. I can't even twist the way I used to. So it's like that's another thing. It's like also understanding your bones, your body from that standpoint is like, yeah, that's the thing. Like for instance,
well, even Brock Lesnar, he did that shooting star off the top rope and he almost broke his neck.
Well, right.
I think he did.
Well, yeah, that's what Eric said earlier. But I think like that's another thing. It's like with flying moves, this is what I'm saying. Like certain people have to be very like mindful of it. That's what I'm saying. Like with the luchadors, they know how to do it. I think luchadors, honestly, are probably like the best high flyers because they're just good at the technical aspects of it.
Right.
They're very keen to detail and very keen on landing on their target. Or with some other people are pretty good at landing on their target as well. But again, that also goes to being very good at being able to practice that move and being delicate enough to land it every single time. Now I can't remember names, but more so on the female side, like a Tiffany Stratton with her little move. Another one, Alexa Bliss. Those two are pretty good at what they do on their landing shots. Even Charlotte Flair, good with her little back, splash with hers as well. So yeah, definitely there's some people that definitely have it. It's just more so of just being in the right position, in the right, launch pad of just saying, okay, yeah, I need you to be right here, and then I'm gonna land it right there. But certain people can stretch, other people can't, and you need range.
And just I always was very respectful of the luchadors because they are high flyers. I always found them very exciting matches, and some of the best matches. But unfortunately, it's too common in the States. It's more Mexican, right?
Are we talking about luchador standards high flying?
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about like I think AAA, something like that.
That's a good example.
Oh wow!
So there's so many different wrestlers out there that do all these crazy moves, and like it makes you wonder where the hell you come up with this shit. And it also makes me wonder now. Yeah. You've done so much over the years. What else is next?
Exactly. How can you push the envelope even more?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is it even possible sometimes? And I think that's one of the reasons why I remember when we were talking about it, we were surprised that they don't do a lot of the house shows anymore. Because I think they use the house shows as an opportunity to try new moves and to work on the timing and everything else. That way, when they're doing Raw or SmackDown, they can find a way to debut it. You know what I mean?
And that's the problem. Even said on his show, the problem with not having house shows anymore, you cannot learn the other person way he works in the ring versus your way to ring, because everybody works a little different in the ring.
Right.
And different styles. If you flop something, okay, now you know why you messed up, all this stuff. So by not doing high shows, it hurts the wrestler in the long term and the fans. But in the same token, it gives more time for the wrestlers to recover for the next match. It's kind of damn if you do, damn if you don't kind of thing.
Yeah.
That is.
They didn't stop house shows at this point. I'm pretty sure they're putting that back on it.
Are they doing house shows again?
I believe so.
That's good.
But not to the extent that we used to do. I think it's only a minimum now, right?
I don't ultimately know, but I know they did bring that back in.
That's
right. They brought it back in.
That's good because that gives them an opportunity to make things look a lot better and sharper. Because it's almost like sometimes you can watch where they flub a move or they hesitate, almost like as if like they're not trying to hurt each other. it's almost like as if you can recognize certain things that are about to happen and not even realize it. And I think that's the point of the house shows. And they work on the timing, they're working on the techniques, they're working on improving particular moves or holds in any way, shape, or form. That way, Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-view, you can perfect it's perfected, and you can pull the move off without anybody knowing. Because I know there are times when they will already have an idea what they're going to do, but if they're willing to take it to that next level, sometimes they'll just go off script like, yo, let's go with this move. Or how about that move? So on and so forth. They'll find a way to communicate with one another. Hey, let's go with this or try that move. Okay, I'll prep for this. You go do this. And it comes out flawless. And then you sit there looking at it like, yo, I don't think anyone ever saw like a particular move here and there happen, but that's the best thing about having the house shows. It gives you the time and the opportunity and the place to try particular moves other than just the rehearsals.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Yes, they use crash pads and all that stuff to practice stuff. Calling some spots out.
Right.
But they don't do it too often. It's like the big wrestlers don't really do that as much. But these new guys coming in slowly, they need more practice time. Like Jey Uso is one of them. I think he needs a lot more practice, to be honest with you. Because
As far as what?
I'm sorry.
As far as what?
It's in general because he botched a lot of moves over the last couple of years.
That is true, because I think I remember one show, I think it was on, I don't know if it was on Raw or SmackDown, and I think he ran to the ropes and he was going to shoot right through the ropes to go after Roman. And I remember watching the behind the scenes. I don't know if it was the behind the scenes that they were just talking about certain things. He jumped and he told Roman, watch out, Joe. And then, like, just to, I guess, brace him to where nothing would happen to Reigns or to himself. Because I guess the timing was off. I think either he did it too soon or he lost himself a little too late. I don't know what it was. And in the process of the match, you heard him call out to Reigns, giving him a heads up, like, yo, watch it. And for some reason, they found a way to save it. But even still, the fact that he had to call Roman out to let him know, to give him that fair warning, just so he won't get caught by surprise. Oh, wow. Damn, Eric.
All right. Okay, I don't want to say that much about Uso, but goddamn, dude.
Wow.
But, I'll give you a better example, Anton. He was wrestling, I believe, CM Punk, and maybe did a relapse on that match. It was on a Raw. I remember that much.
Okay.
And something happened, and first he was winded from his entry, and like everybody has realized that coming down that huge injuries, jump up and down, he's winded before the match starts. And then he was wrestling. CM Punk came some stiff kicks and punches. He was like, "Yo, dude, knock it off! Come on, get into it." And he was so winded he couldn't catch his breath, and there was one of the worst matches they had on Raw for a long time.
Wow.
You could talk about the Reese one. That would have been even more better. The same thing. But I mean, the recent one, because he literally had it with what's his guy? What's this young gun name? I forgot right now. Because he literally did it for the King of the Ring tournament with Javon Evans. There it is. It already popped in my head.
Okay.
Huh?
That was last week's, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, literally this past Friday. Yeah. Pretty much you can say the same thing. I mean, for me, well, because I know you said, well, I mean, I'm not going to say that Jay doesn't botch. I mean, he definitely does here and there. He even botched in that match that I'm recently talking about. But I guess because to your former comment about, I guess neither his spear being, what was it? You said sloppy. I mean, I wouldn't say his spear is sloppy. It's just the simple fact of how he's, quote unquote, trying to be innovative with it because, of course, everyone's already doing it. So he has to do it in a way that makes it slightly different to the appeal of what everyone else is doing. Granted, do I like it? No, but it works for him for what he's trying to do with it. But yeah.
But there are also other wrestlers who do a similar one, like Breaker. He does a running spear too, and he nails it pretty well, I think.
Well, he nails it by impact, but personally, I don't even like Breaker either. This is why I literally said when it comes to the spear, personally, in my opinion, like after again, I said Goldberg, Bobby, Edge, Rhino, everyone else, forget about it. Like, don't get me wrong, Roman, I like he's in the corner and all that, but at the same time though, I don't really care for Romans. Why not? Because again, it's like I don't really like. Again, when Goldberg did it. And it was just sadistic animal hunting his prey. Gun him. Boom. Bobby, not ultimately the same way, but, I like Bobby's way because of the turning factor, flipping you with the spear. That's what I like about his. Edge, sort of like Goldberg. Sadistic, opportunist, waiting for his target to motherfucking realize that he's done for. Rhino, he's a rhino. He's goring your ass. He's going to gore you. Right, so that's the thing I say. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like the impact of how he does it is not good. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is, personally, I only really hit it on the nail for those two, and everybody else is y'all just carbon copies, just trying to emulate a spear because they're just making you do it. Personally, to be honest, that's another reason why I don't really like breakers, because at the same time, that running away spear, you got it off of someone else running away and trying to double kick someone in the face or double kicking someone in the steps. If it wasn't for him doing it, you wouldn't be able to do it that same way where they're trying to carbon copy that. So for me, no. I think personally, I would love Breaker getting back to him getting the camel clutch. I personally love that, but they're not going to let him do that for whatever reasons, and it's just stupid. Because personally, right now, they're doing too much with him, and he's getting injured. And honestly, I'm getting sick and tired of it, where he's just wasting his talent right now on this. Because like one moment they're saying that he was injured, and I'm thinking, is this guy about to be on the sidelines again? Like, what the fuck?
Is it because his finish is getting injured, or is it different reasons?
Say it again.
Is he getting injured so much because of his finisher, or is it from other stuff?
I mean, you can say it from other stuff, but all I'm saying is when you think about the idea and correlations of everything, for me, I'm just saying, like, going back to it, I look at it in a sense of saying, hey, to me, he didn't have all these problems when he was just working on the camel clutch. That's my thing. He just didn't have these problems. Like when he does that big jumping shoulder pump, like I ain't gonna lie, I don't like that either for him. You can easily fuck up your shoulder. Why the freak they make him do that? It's dumb. It's like, I get it. He's a football player. No, fucking stop that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it is. They're using the football player mentality so he can run through the spear, because tackle and a spear are pretty similar overall. Let's be honest.
Right, because that's what most. Yeah, and the funny thing is, Roman, Jay, all these guys all play football, which is why they're able to do this. But that's why I'm saying, like, it's sort of just dull and stupid. Like, granted, let's be real. What's crazy about it is, like, as big and monstrous as Brock is, but you'll never see him ever let him do the spear. And personally, thank goodness they never did. Not because he couldn't do it, but personally, I didn't want him to be another carbon copy walking as the new implant to the thing. It's like you had the F5, that's where you need to be. You had the German suplex, even though the German suplex was run down from Kurt to Chris Benoit to him, how you want to look at it. But I rather like it that way from his perspective.
Also, I think it is, guys.
Although he did do a lot with his shoulders, though. I mean, the fact that Brock might have been the first guy I saw that had, like, his traps and shoulders was like he was wearing football.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
So even though he didn't do a spear, he would do that thing where he would get you in the corner and he would just be ramming his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when Brock made his debut, and I'm saying, like, who the hell is this guy? I'm like, he's tall. He's like you said, like you look at him.
Yeah, them traps was
they're incredible.
It was like ridiculous. This dude got no neck. Like, who the hell is this guy? And then when I heard the name,
what I also think with the spear right now is a lot of people use it. I think it's getting watered down a lot.
It is watered down. I literally just said it. Like,
I'm agreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you, Wally. I think it's watered that way too much. The same thing with super kick. A lot of people use it.
Yeah, but but that's my thing. When I'm trying to say, like, there's the super kick and then there's the switch in music. I think that's what I'm saying. Like,
two different things.
Well, yeah, they're two different
You
things.
think
but that's
so?
why
I don't know. We'll explain.
Well,
the
no,
difference
because
to
again,
me.
it's the style and the delivery of it. If you're just shooting
Correct.
from a super kick, that's just shooting from it. You're just
But I
shooting.
know you have, for example, this is an old school guy who was famous for the super kick. This guy Chris Adams.
Yeah,
He was in world
Eric,
class championship wrestling, but that was like his finisher. So
Yeah,
he pulled this all pretty well too. I'll
oh yeah,
put
and
his on
even
par
Lance
with,
Storm, same thing.
yeah.
His finisher was also a super kick.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like from there, that's what I'm saying. There is those that did it like that. But again, I think even to a point like Lance Storm giving you a super kick, people will tell you stories. That's what I'm saying. Like there is a different thing. That's what I'm saying. Like when you're just shooting to shoot, it's different. It's just a commonary shoot move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
speaking of kicks, I know Sparta, your favorite kick has got to be Chris Champion's crane kick. I'm kind of joking, but
oh, you know who other kicks?
When he did Chris Champion doing the Karate Kid gimmick,
just,
and so he would do
that's what it is. Nothing
the.
special about it.
No, I forgot who else. No, there was someone else's kicks back in the good old days of the early 2000s. I forgot the dude's name. Oh my God, I forgot the dude's name, but he was lethal with his kick. Oh my goodness, that roundhouse, that thing was lethal.
Well, for me, the best. Like I talked about the punt earlier, which was kind of sick. Just even how he delivered it, but someone's kick was really good. Was that Japanese guy Tajiri?
oh yeah.
Tajiri was another
he would
one.
like size you up, and he would come full. He would that full twist into it. I mean, so that looked like a convincing move. You get kicked in the head, prone like that. Yeah, you can do some damage to somebody too.
Oh yeah,
now,
I know.
Jerry is one of them, but he wasn't the one I was talking about originally. But yeah, no, he's good too. Even speaking to that, as far as the new age, Aleister Black, he's another one. He's good with his kick as well.
Yeah, I forgot about him actually. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the many few that actually do kicks these days as a finisher.
And that's what it is. Like I think they're running out of ideas with finishers.
I wouldn't say that. You got to remember, it's on the people though. It's like you got to think to yourself, what are the people? Because you got to think about it, right? When Aleister Black does his finisher, you have to think to yourself, he as a martial artist, so he's correlating his fighting style to his finisher. Same thing with Tajiri, like him doing the buzz cut kick, that's going back to his style of where he comes from. So again, this also comes back into backgrounding and everything else of that nature. So this is what I'm saying, like people's finisher also sometimes are correlated back to the culture aspect of wrestling as well, or at least their home ground roots. So this is why when I say, like, you know, when you get luchadors, you're going to more likely get a high flyer. Eddie Guerrero, high flying move. You know, I mean, Rey Mysterio was sort of different because his was more so from the ropes. But, you know, again, more style and more cool. I think there was a finisher he did have that was from the turnbuckle, but that was something slightly different. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of these guys is all really dependable on background, styles, and that stuff like that. So it's not a fact of just they don't have the finisher. It's a fact of just how they're correlating it. Because again, the more and more, everyone's gonna get familiar with the move. It's like everyone has a power bomb, but everyone does it slightly different than the next person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
from what you were saying, like RVD, he had a martial art background, so his kicks are pretty.
Right. Yeah, he has ways of doing kicks. Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
And I remember
he doesn't do finisher though.
Right. And I think I remember Eric mentioned in the chat earlier about one of the things that RVD could do was, I think he was able to toss a chair at someone.
Kicks, with the chair shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was good. He was very creative, Rob, in his early career. He was very creative.
Oh yeah. But one move that we didn't talk about was the clothesline from hell from JBL.
JBL. Ooh.
Now, when you want to talk about clotheslines, man, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Clothesline moves, those are very. You really have to really sell that at a high pitch because I think like you know how like they show like when Brock gets punched and then he closes and he clothesline you down real quick, like that's pretty good. But yeah, but the clothesline from hell is definitely good. Because it's sort of like you're pulling them in and then you're swinging, or you're neither coming off the ropes and you're swinging at them.
Yeah.
But you got to be very good with it because I think in most cases you can sort of mess up your shoulder if you're not good. But yeah.
But give JBL credit because timing. He knew where to land it to
Oh no,
where,
yeah.
where he never had, you never heard about him having shoulder issues. I know
I
he
think
had
he hurt his shoulder once.
Say again.
I think he had hurt his shoulder once. He was out for a while.
I know, but I remember he had the knee issue too. That's why he always wore that knee brace.
True.
But
Shout out to Eric. He put in there Nikita Koloff with his Russian sickle. That was pretty. That was a pretty impressive move back in the day.
There was a lot of
but one thing, guys, I need to go in a couple minutes, but I did want to address one last thing because Peter was talking about how it's hard to kind of like get good finishers and everything, but is part of the problem also is that the finisher is not the finisher, meaning that you have so many kickouts. Like I remember the match with what's that? Kofi Kingston and Brian Danielson or Daniel Bryan. Their championship match. How many times did they nail their finishing move only for the other guy to kick out? And I'm saying, at what point in time if you keep doing that, where you're blowing everybody away with your finishing move, you're building up, and this is something that's special, and obviously with the competition, it's going to be hard to put on somebody. But I mean, even with the Rock, he's got to land 3 rock bottoms, and he's got to put the people's elbow, which also is the most overrated move. Going back to what I said earlier, I think the people's elbow is the most overrated finisher. You talked about the leg drop, Wally. The people's elbow is like the worst finisher. Doesn't look like it could damage anybody. The guy's there for an inordinate amount of time as he's doing it, as he's doing the thing and all that. So I think the people's elbow might be the most overrated move in history. But that being said,
but I think
if you kick out of a finisher too much, do you inherently ruin the finisher?
Well, let me say. Well, first and foremost, to your standpoint on that, as far as the elbow, first, real quick before I transition into your concept of question. So, I can get the fact that yes, you could say that it is the most idiotic thing because, of course, it doesn't do damage and everything else. The reason why
most is overrated. I said necessarily idiot, but overrated. I think
it's overrated one way or the other. All that. The thing is this: the reason why I picked the leg drop as the most overrated, regardless, finish, move, whatever you want to call it. The reason why I call it the most overrated is because, again, there is a standpoint of when you saw the leg drop, there's nothing really quote unquote special to it. Now, again, I'm guessing I'm putting that more so in a factor point of entertainment and also the move itself. At least with the people elbow, that is entertainment. Even though, yes, I can agree. Yes, there is no real high level obtained damage that comes along with it. It's just a move of nostalgia. So I can understand. So I can agree with you. But I think, is it the most overrated move as far as move pool? No. I think that, there's multiple different moves that we can look at that's overrated. Like, just a simple slap is a move out here. Like, that's overrated. So, but yeah, no. But we're talking about high octane like moves. There's definitely way more moves. Now, as far as transitioning over to the concept of, is a finisher really a finisher because of the fact that how much time
if you kick out of it 20 times?
No, I think now. Don't get me wrong. Have they overdone it to this point to a certain degree? Yes, because there's certain people I wouldn't really do it so much with to a certain point. But I do think, again, to a certain point of the magnitude of the wrestler, I would say, yeah, you could do it multiple times and it's still considered a finisher. I think the problem is when we consider finishers, is it the right moment to really say that is a done match? That's what you have to point at right there. Do you honestly believe it's over the moment they hit that finisher? Because in more cases than not, when people show off that finisher, I treat it like a video game. You were given the opportunity to have a finish early, and then you shoot, and then you drop it. But guess what? It wasn't enough. That's just what it is. That's how I treat it. So As far as the level of someone doing a finisher and dropping it, no. Because again, you have to also think to yourself at this point, like, I'll say it like this, right? To be fair, right? If you told me, like, just without even seeing it, if you told me that Roman Reigns had a spear, Brock Lesnar like fucking 5 times, and he didn't finish the fight, I said, what we're doing here? Like, literally, I said what we're doing here. Because how the frick time you got to keep spearing somebody? Same way I would sit here and say, if you told me Brock Lesnar had a freaking F5 someone 3 times to finish a match, again, what we're doing here. So that point, yes. And that's what I'm saying right there. I would agree, yes. Finishers could start to look overrated because people push that too much.
Okay. Anybody else on that? Anton or Peter, what do you think about it? I want to get thanks for sharing that, Wally, but I'd like to get your view on it also.
I get what he says about the finishers and everything else. Sometimes it seems like, do you really have to sell so many times in order to win the match? Do you really have to do it more than like really necessary to try to get the pinfall? It's almost like as if now you may have to force wrestlers to go to a submission at the same time. Because it feels like, you know what? If I can't bring you screw this, I'm going to just put you in the submission move and see what happens from there. And it's like, okay, which one are you going to go to? Which one do you know could cause the most damage? Which one is the one that you know that's going to make the person tap out? Is it the figure 4? Is it the camel clutch? Is it the sharpshooter?
Chicken wing.
The chicken wing.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You get trapped in the chicken wing, it's over. Because you ain't moving, you ain't getting close to the rope.
That's another one. Yeah, you want to put somebody like for real. If you want to put somebody into that, yeah, you're not getting out of that.
Like literally, you're pretty much screwed. The only way you're getting out of that if you're moving your body, which you got to be very careful because your arms, or you move your leg, and that's barely gonna happen. So good luck.
Yeah. Like a good example is Cody Rhodes, Crossroads.
The Crossroads.
I can't remember who he was wrestling, but he had nailed that like 3 or 4 times.
He did that with a couple of people.
Yeah.
Good example. It loses the mystique at that point. I don't think it's a finisher at that point. It's another move.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the level of who you're doing it with, and at the same time, the level of the moment when you hit the move, that's the issue. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you do a finisher too early, I already know there's no way you're getting losing. Like you're not losing.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm saying. The timing matters. You have to. That's what I'm saying. It's really more of a visual thing. You have to ask yourself: did this person really did enough to really say they can hit this move legitimately? No. You already know they're kicking out. No way.
Right.
So that's the thing. Like I always base it on the fact of the person, how far you got to. Like for instance, perfect example. Let's say like this is the end of the match, and then you have to do it like 3 times to seal in it. I have no problem with that because you're doing it because it's closing out now.
Right.
But if you're talking about you're doing it thoroughly in the match and you're kicking out, I have to say, who are you to be the one to do it like this? Because at this point, certain people got to be the one to do it like that. Others, not so much. Like if you're doing like, okay, let's say like going back to the whole Cody Rhodes thing. If you have to do that with Jay and do it like 3 times, I'm sorry, you're losing the plot to me.
All right, so what did you think about going back to the Attitude Era, Stone Cold versus Rock? I guess that first WrestleMania was like 14 or something like that. And I think Stone Cold hit Rock with like 3 Stone Cold stunners and couldn't do it, and finally he snapped and he got the chair and he had the alliance with Vince. Did you like that?
No, actually, yeah, I'm fairly good with that one.
You're good with that. Okay.
No, here's again, you got to remember, because again, remember, I base this on people and I also base it on how the turnout is. So for me personally, again, like to the caliber of knowing who these 2 characters are, their history, and how the Attitude Era is mastered, like how the Attitude Era, the whole story, the pioneers of it, yeah, it's worthy of that. Those 2 guys being able to do that is worthy. Like same way, like if Stone Cold's getting rock bottom every freaking time and keep kicking out, yeah, it's worthy of that. I'm good. Now, if you tell me someone else, now that's a whole different story. Like, no, like I'm not letting that slide.
All right, guys, we're getting to close to the end of the show. Let's start doing our final thoughts. Anton, you want to go first? Then I have Wally going second and Paul final.
This was a great discussion. the most iconic finishing moves. A lot of us remember where we were when we saw some of these moves for the very first time. Whether you were at the event live, whether it was during a house show, whether it was during one of the major shows, like Raw or SmackDown, or even at a pay-per-view. Each individual wrestler had a particular move to end the match. And the minute you saw it, you knew it was game over. That's it. They're done. Match is over. And we've seen some moves that were made popular by one wrestler make a revival by another one. That's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it so, poetic. Whether it was the sharpshooter, you can have the debate. Who? Is it Bret Hart? Is it Sting? Or The Rock? You can say the figure four.
Yep, Rock.
If you have the figure four, and like I said before, are you going to say Ric Flair or Greg the Hammer Valentine? I'm always going with the Hammer because he had that shin guard, and the minute you saw him slide it down to his foot and then switched it around, you knew it was over. A lot of wrestlers had some of the best finishers that told great stories. That really just added a touch to a story. It was poetic. It was, oh wow, how else can I put it? It was iconic. It was just perfect timing. And I think one, to me, that's always going to have that significance is when Shawn Michaels was wrestling Ric Flair. And you can see the look on his face. And when he said, I'm sorry, and then he said, I love you, gave him that sweet chin music, pinned him. And then after the match, kissed him on his forehead, left the ring. And you could tell he had tears in his eyes. You can't emulate that. You could tell that's real. So the best way I could put it is we've seen some wrestlers that just retired who had moves and never thought it was possible. And sometimes you wonder, is there a way you could recapture that magic with the new crop coming in? Because they got a lot of work to do. And that's all I got to say. And those are the words we're thinking about.
Let me make this fast and quick because we do have to go and talk business. But look, there's a lot of great finishes out there. And granted, there's a lot of people that had to follow the same motif of someone else's finisher one way or the other, or have their own variations of it one way or the other. Look, definitely for sure, wrestling is coming to a point where you have to look at it and be like, it's very hard to create a different new move. But at the same time, this also is based upon the wrestler being able to cultivate that move to being unique. Perfect example, the Lone Wolf. When he created his version of his finisher, it was a really nice move, and I liked his move, right? Because a lot of people ain't really doing his move like that to that degree, let alone to doing his move the way he do it. So, a lot of people have their own unique move, and there are, it's just locked in history. Some people, they share the same moves, and, some people do it to the same extent. Some people do it to a different extent, one way or the other. It's just all about how I guess you could say it's a lot of style points, or it's just the nostalgia. You're going to be selling one or the other at the end of the day. If you want to talk about like beefs over finisher moves, the biggest beef of finisher moves was John Cena, crying because his finisher, the F5, was pretty much being done by someone else. I can't remember his name, but he changed himself to a woman after a sex change. And so his wrestling started with the T. He looked pretty much like a dark-skinned Spartan with his look. Because if you ever watch Spartacus, like a similarity.
I know who you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
He had the reversal of the F5, and John Cena didn't love it. he pretty much politicked for him to stop using that move to the point that it even got him out of WWE and back into the Indies, which honestly, the most petty-ish I've ever heard. Like, nigga, your thing is nothing but a freaking fireman. I'm sorry, but I know I like the word, but yeah, but personally, you're doing a little too much. You pretty much put a guy on your shoulders, fireman technique, and then you just toss him off. You like, stop. Like, you really gotta hold yourself to that. Like, don't overdo it. Especially since you also tagline another finisher, which is the FTF. In reality, it's nothing but a crossface without it being a crossface because you're doing extra steps. Okay.
Wow. Wally dropping the N-word. He gets so worked up.
Hey, sorry. You gotta know. You gotta know. Hello, who am I? Like, we know how this works. I'm not on the other side. I know. I'm not in the ghetto. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was like, wow. I was expecting that. But
poetic.
But yeah, certainly good show. Like I said, just in general, I like finishers that could literally be finishers, like real life application things, not just stage where you're waiting 5 minutes before The Rock drops his people's elbow after his gyrations and all that kind of stuff. Certainly I like things that that really make it like a sport, and so again, those moves that I mentioned, certainly my top 5, and then the honorable mentions, like I said, the cross crippler crossface. I said the pile driver, which really said no one does anymore just because it's just too dangerous to pull off, and the spear jackknife, jackhammer. I mean, again, great moves, and so it was. I think a finisher can certainly not only be your signature as a wrestler, but it can certainly be legacy defining. But at the same time, just what the current product is, if you got to drop it 4 or 5 times before you can get a pinfall of 1, 2, 3, then I think you're really destroying the effectiveness of the moves. And so I would certainly like to see them pull back a little bit and build up a match to a point where when you drop it, it means something. It's like maybe once you kick out from it, but not 2 or 3 times. I mean, I think that has to change. To really sell the viability of the sport. I know you get the oohs and ahs from the crowd thinking, oh yeah, this is it. But yeah, I think finishers need to stay special, and you build a whole career trying to build a reputation off a move, and then where they don't allow you to kind of sell it in the matches, especially the championship matches. I think you certainly you lose something there, but again, good show, good topic. See, even the claw, I never saw anybody pin with the claw, at least not in a main event sort of situation. It was always something that led to a melee afterwards or whatever. So I never looked at the claw as a great move. Shout out to the Von Erichs for certainly. I don't know if they invented it, but they certainly most famous.
Technically, didn't. Sorry to interrupt you. Didn't Mick Foley finish someone with a claw? Or
I thought that was that mandible lock, right?
The mandible is called,
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So
now, so the claw is like you just literally just put the hand
that's
on here.
The head.
Yeah,
he's doing it to the throat. So
So
the
throat is a
little
more sensitive area, but
the wrestler you were talking about, his birth name was Gabe Tiff. He was also known as Tyler Risk in WWE. He was a Spartan transformed into Gabe Allo Tuff now.
He's
going through some weird shit right now.
I ain't gonna lie. The John Cena doing that petty-ish. I ain't gonna lie. He was supposed to be the next big. In my opinion, he could have been the next big thing. He was literally in the size of Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. That's why he created a company called Body Spartan after he got out of WWE, because he wanted to help people. But let's do a quick schedule update. So tomorrow night we're talking about marriage versus cohabitation. I can't pronounce that word, man. And then on Wednesday we're going over the top most unrated Sunday or Saturday morning cartoons. And Paul, you want to go over your show for us on Thursday?
Well, again, next gen training. So again, we're going to start a new series of shows on teaching to intelligence. So this is going to be a 5-part series where we go over based on the type of intelligence that you have, strategies in terms of how to teach to that. I think we do a lot of kids, especially a disservice when we don't recognize that not everyone's on the same. I wouldn't even say on the same level, but certainly people are intelligent in their own ways, and we don't value people enough. So again, how can you help someone if they have aptitudes at certain things? We need to be encouraging that and building to that versus just discarding people because they may not be good at math or good at English, but there's so many different things they could be good at, and we need to certainly as a society start to embrace that. So we're going to talk about these different types of intelligence, and we're going to explore strategies. If you know a young person who might be have affinities for those things, then how can you build from there? So that's so again 5-part series coming up, and yeah, P, I'll certainly share information with you on those. So
Yeah, and on Sunday at Gray Area, we're having a call-in show.
Call-in show.
So call in, hear your voice. And ours, we're gonna be back on next Monday with another wrestling show. So accept that, guys. This was the Spartan HQ Network. I am the Spartan, my man Anton, my man Wally, and the president, aka Paul. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
You have a good one. Good night.